Hello, my beautiful loves. Welcome to episode 2 of Human Design. This is the Art of Contemplation. I'm your host, Sarah. If you guys have not watched the first video, Intro into Human Design, feel free to go back and watch that. If you are familiar with human design, you know the basics, and you're just looking to get into the nitty-gritty, then this is a great place to start. So today we're going to be talking about our types, our strategy, and the themes of these types. So if you have not already pulled your human design chart, you're going to want to do that first. You're going to go to mybodygraph.com, mybodygraph.com, and you're going to put in all of your information, birth date, birth time, and where it was that you were born, and it's going to populate a chart. Now, I get this question a lot. What if I don't know what time I'm born? Your design changes throughout the day, so it's going to be important that you get your time. Check your birth certificate, hound your parents to give you some type of a window, call the hospital, county records. If you really have no way of knowing, you can trial and error. You can pull the chart for different times during the day and see what resonates with you. You can use a pendulum and trust that your inner self knows. You can work with, I forget what they're called, but there's like astrologers who specialize in trying to help people pinpoint what time that they were born using things about them in relation to what they know about planet alignment and what time that would have been. So you can do all of that, right? But it's going to be important that you get some type of a accurate assessment of what time you were born. Once you have your chart, it is going to tell you what type you are. That's going to say either manifestor, manifesting generator, generator, projector, or reflector. So find out what type you are. So we're going to talk about these for a minute. If you listen to my intro, you heard me use the example of human design is like a manual for the vehicle that is your body. Your soul is driving this body on this planet Earth. And so your body, this vehicle that you're in, it has a human design manual that teaches you all about this body. So I want you to think about the type as like what type of vehicle it is. A sedan has much different reasons for existing than a cement truck or a semi truck, right? Like they do different things. So a manifestor, this is about 10% of the people on our planet. Manifestors are here to envision a different world, to kind of envision where it is that we are going, right? They are deciding the direction. This is how we should be moving forward. And then there are generators who make up 70% of the population. Generators have motors in their design, giving them energy to do. They are like the worker bees. Now, when you hear this, you might be like, worker bee, me. No, they are designed to work. They love work. The trick is they were designed to do the work that they love to do here on this planet. What have we been told? Don't do the work you love to do. You won't make money doing that. Do the work that brings the biggest income, that yields the most profit. We teach that backwards, not realizing that what would actually manifest the biggest income is when our vibration is the highest and when we are the most authentic, doing what it is that we love to do. But we've been conditioned to believe that we can't do those things. So most people that are generators, they're working, they're spending all their time working, but they're not working on something they want to be working on. How many times do we see on social media? Does anybody know who's hiring? And then when you're like, well, what are you looking for? The things they list is, I want to make this much money, or I want it to be during this much time, like these hours. I want it to be in this location. It's like none of that has actually anything to do with what you're actually doing. Like if I paid you enough, you do something horrible, most people would be like, yeah, I don't care, as long as, right? And so that is why most generators are miserable because they are not doing the work that they love. They are doing work that they despise, but they are here to work. They're designed to work. I'm a manifesting generator. Now, What is a manifesting generator? Manifesting generator is, I sort of see it as like a subset of like this little group inside of the generators. They are generators in all of the ways. They operate just like generators do. The difference is that they have a defined throat chakra that is connected to another motor in the body, which allows the energy that they speak to go out directly into the world the same way that a manifestor does. But in all other ways, they are like generators. And then you have projectors. Projectors make up 20% of the population, and they are really good at watching what the generators are doing and then letting them know how they can do it better. So we have the manifestors at the front saying, oh, I see, we should be doing this. Then you have all the generators going, I can do that. I love this. And then they're working towards that. And then the projectors are kind of overseeing and going, you could do this better. We could do this better. Let's tweak this. Right? Now, then we have reflectors. Reflectors, they're very interesting. They are here to reflect back to us. So when a reflector is standing in front of you, it's like they take on your own design and they reflect that right back to you. So it's like you're looking at yourself, if you will, the design of yourself in physical form. And it gives us it's a great way for us to contemplate, like, are we actually doing what we set out to do? Each one of these types, they have a strategy. Of all the things you learn in human design, all the things that you learn, there's going to end up being, God, I don't even know, probably 70 episodes that I share with you guys. Of all the things you learn in human design, strategy, I would argue, is one of the most important. So please pay attention to what it is that we are talking about right here if you want to change your life. First of all, let's contemplate, what is strategy? Where have we seen and heard this word strategy before? Well, in my business, I had a marketing strategy, I had a communication strategy. A strategy it's like a plan of action or policy that you adhere to in order to reach a goal. So if in my business, I had the goal of selling X amount of things, and I had a marketing strategy put in place to attract those customers. The goal would be to attract and sell to those customers, and the strategy would be whatever that marketing strategy is. Post 3 times a day, TV ad, whatever it is, right? If you think about this in terms of like football, for example, the strategy is the play, right? But the goal is the touchdown. So there's a strategy in place. You're gonna go this way. You're gonna go this way. We're gonna put the ball, throw the ball. What I don't know anything about football, and the goal is for us to actually move the ball down the field, get closer to the goal, actually make the touchdown, right? And so when we are talking about the strategy of each type, we are talking about what should your play on this earth look like? What should your plan, what should your action plan look like when you are moving through earth? So it's so important that you start to implement your strategy, because this is what you were designed to do. If the quarterback is designed to do this and he's doing something completely different, you're not going to get to the end goal. You're going to be in the wrong place, the wrong time, playing the wrong position. Right? Like, you have to be playing your position that you were designed to, that you were made to do. And the way that you're going to do this is by following that plan of action, following your strategy. And when you follow your strategy, you are going to end up getting there because of the way that the universe works. It's going to put you in the right place. When you don't follow your strategy, you end up in the wrong place. Okay, so strategy is really important, one of the most important things to implement from the beginning, because as you will see in the millions of episodes that I upload, there's all these things you could be working on when it comes to aligning your energy. But if you're doing all of this work, all of these things to align my energy and move this up and operate from the gift instead of the shadow and all this kind of stuff. But I'm not making sure that I'm entering into things that were meant for me in the first place. You're going to do all this work just to see that you're implementing that work in the wrong places with the wrong people at the wrong time. Just like that second goal in my example in the intro video, doing all the things, but not actually making any progress. So strategy, super, super important. When you are following your strategy, you are going to be experiencing what we call your theme. Every type has a theme in life. If you are not following your strategy, you're going to find yourself experiencing your not theme. For manifestors, your theme is peace. Your not theme is anger. For generators and manifesting generators, your theme is satisfaction. Your not theme is frustration. For projectors, it's success. Your not theme is bitterness. And actually, I cannot think of what the reflectors is. What is the reflectors? Brain fog. I hardly deal with reflectors. 1 second, please. Okay. Here we go. So reflectors, I knew this. Okay, so reflectors, your theme is surprise. And their not theme is disappointment. And so when you're first beginning this journey, I think a very good and simple way to track whether you're living in design or not is to ask yourself, in this moment or this day, this afternoon, whatever increment of time you feel like was beneficial for you, ask yourself. If you are a manifestor, ask yourself, in this moment, am I feeling peace or am I feeling anger? Was today a peaceful day, or did I spend the majority of it in anger? For a generator, manifesting generator, was today satisfying or was it frustrating? Is this moment satisfying or frustrating? Is this relationship satisfying or frustrating? Is this conversation satisfying or frustrating? I have to ask myself that continuously to make sure that I'm in alignment with what is for me and living inside of my design. For projectors, am I experiencing success or bitterness right now? And then for you guys, reflectors at 1%, that unicorn inside of human design, am I experiencing surprise, excitement, surprise, right? Like, or am I feeling disappointed? If you are feeling your not theme, it is a huge indicator. It is a dashboard light flashing at you. I hate when my dashboard lights come on. You guys procrastinate on those? My husband, my poor husband, sometimes he'll get in the car and be like, what the fuck? Your dashboard looks like a Christmas tree. And I'm like, oh, no, that just happens sometimes. He's like, Sarah, that does not just happen sometimes. I'm like, no, but really it does. It's like an electrical issue. I've already had it checked out a couple of times. And he's like, Sarah. No, really, it's an electrical issue. But our dashboard lights are so important. They're telling us that something is not right. And so if I'm feeling frustration, I'm not designed to feel frustrated. I am designed to feel satisfaction in all areas of my life. And when I am living by my design, that's exactly what happens. The difference in my levels of satisfaction today than 10 years ago is literally astounding. Crazy. And I'm doing everything that people told me not to do in order to get there. Wild. So ask yourself, check in with yourself. Am I feeling my theme or am I feeling my not theme? Your body is designed to take you closer to your theme. Your body is designed to take you to peace and satisfaction and, success. It's designed to do those things. So let's talk about strategies. Manifestos. Your strategy. Keep it simple. Don't overthink this. Your strategy is to inform. Remember, manifesto, you are the one that was designed, your type was designed to see something and say, that's what we got to do. So you're just going to tell everybody else what it is that we're doing. If you're the one that's supposed to be envisioning and setting the course for us to move in a different direction, and the generators are supposed to be the ones that are bringing the energy behind that and actually putting some energy towards it so we can manifest that new reality. You cannot spend your time turning around and asking generators for their opinion on what it is that you think we should be doing. You need to just tell them, this is what we're doing. 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 Speak it. Now, a lot of manifestors, because of how powerful their voice is, they've been taught and conditioned as children to shut up. If you're a manifestor, I'm sorry if people have hushed your voice. That was detrimental to all of us. But most likely, you were seen as the hard-headed, stubborn child, the one who just, had to have something to say or wanted it to be your way. And unfortunately, we've punished and conditioned those children not to be that way. But you need to be that way. Energetically, we are wanting you to tell us what direction to go in. Energetically, I want my sister to guide me and tell me what to do. And when I've listened, man, extraordinary things happen. So we have to get out of our head space and stop thinking about all these reasons why we shouldn't tell people what to do or what we're doing as manifestors, right? If you're not a manifestor, this is not for you. If you're a manifestor, you need to just tell people, this is what I'm doing. If you hide it because you think that there's going to be pushback or whatever, you are actually going to self-perpetuate that issue, because since energetically we know that manifestors are supposed to be telling us and in envisioning and telling us what that vision is, if you don't tell us, we feel like you've left us out. We feel like you've gone behind our back. We feel like you've excluded us. And we get upset at that. So just say what it is. I had a manifesting client who was terrified to tell her family that she was moving out and moving with her boyfriend to another state, even though it was everything that she wanted. She had manifested a dream job, a dream location, a dream house, everything in this state. And so instead of just saying, I'm doing this, she panicked and freaked out and didn't know what to say. And so she was hiding it. And as they started to pick up things about it, they started to get mad at her. And she's like, I can't tell them, they're going to be mad. And I'm like, I know it gives the illusion that they would be mad, but they're not mad that you're doing this. They're mad that you're not telling them what it is that you're doing. Just say it. I'm quitting my job. I'm starting this business. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to have this many followers. I'm going to be a millionaire. Say it, right? Inform. Let people know. So manifestors, I want you to think about this as this is my playbook. This is my strategy in life. This is my call to action. I'm going to inform. From now on, I'm going to just tell people what it is that I'm doing. In the next episode, you're going to learn about your authority. Is it the next episode? Yes. Next episode, you're going to learn about your authority, and you're going to want to make sure you're using your authority to make decisions about what it is that you decide to do. But once you've decided what you need to do or what you're going to do, you need to inform everybody else of what you're doing. Simple enough. Yes. I remember I was talking to a client about this, and she was terrified of using her voice. And I said, do you have any examples, any evidence in your life of a time where you just told people and surprisingly it went way better than you thought? And she goes, yeah, actually. When I dropped out of college, I was terrified. And I just finally had to rip the Band-Aid off. And I called my family, I called my parents and said, hey, I'm dropping out of college. I'm going to do this thing instead. And they were like, okay. And she was like, what? And I said, yeah, because energetically we respect it when you just tell us. Okay, so generators and manifesting generators, we share the same strategy. Our strategy is to respond. Sometimes you will see this written as wait to respond. The wait in there is misleading because it makes you feel like you need to just wait until something happens in your life. And that can sometimes give us the wrong impression of how we are supposed to be living. So even if we're waiting to respond, there's stuff to respond to all day long. I mean, look around, there's just stuff everywhere for us to respond to. So you don't have to wait very long, right? But you're responding to life. You're supposed to be responding to life because the manifestors have already pushed the energy into a trajectory, into a direction. So when you're responding to that direction, you're working with the manifestors to be able to create this world. You can't fight that. It is not your job to initiate. It is not your job to make it happen. It's not your job to grind, 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 and force. It is your job to respond. When you are trying to force something to happen, you will feel your not theme, which is frustration. I'm trying and it's just not working. I, I had experienced that this last week. The universe kept giving me signs that I'm supposed to be starting this channel, and specifically this playlist on human design. And so I was like, okay, I need to make this happen. I need to do this many episodes, and I need to record on this day and this day and this day. And I had it all planned out. And then I start to do it, and my baby's not letting me. You know, he's crying, or he's making noises, or he wants all the attention, or he's only sleeping when I'm holding him. And, you know, and so I'm just frustrated because I'm trying to make it work. And I have to stop myself and say, just respond. Just respond. Whatever's happening in front of me, respond to that. If the baby needs me right now, respond to that. Stop trying to make the video happen. Respond to life, and the right opportunities will arrive exactly when they need to. Exact timing. Today, my daughter came over and she's like, let me watch the baby real quick while you knock out some videos. And I feel so lit, and I feel like in a place to share, which is going to land differently than when I'm coming from a place of frustration and wondering what the baby's doing. Respond. 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 That is your strategy in life. Just respond. What is going on around me? I'm going to respond to it. Trust that if it is for you, it will show up in your experience for you to respond to. That doesn't excuse you from taking action. You still take action, but the action is in response to something else. Here's a prime example for all my social media influencers out there. Especially as manifesting generators, if you're a manifesting generator like me, having especially a manifesting generator like me with sacral authority, you guys are going to learn about that, but having a schedule that says go live every Monday at 2 p.m. It needs to be in response to something. So I'll see a post and it will ignite me and say, talk about this. I'll be having a life experience and something will happen to say, talk about this. If you guys go to my my playlist on inspiration or my playlist on life, and I'm contemplating, you guys will see I use a lot of like what is happening around me to contemplate. It's in response to something that happened. Respond, respond, respond. Projectors, you are waiting for an invitation. Again, I hate the word wait here because it's implying that I'm just supposed to sit at home and sit on my hands and wait for an invitation to come to me. Nobody's going to invite you if they don't know who it is that you are or what it is that you have to offer. Like, no, there has to be something happening before the invitation, but you will be invited into that which is right for you in your work. You will be invited. And people will invite you based on the value that they see inside of you. But the only way they're going to see your value is if you're putting it on display. So by all means, talk about the thing that you have mastered. Talk about the thing that you think is the best way to do something. Projectors naturally, they just naturally are gifted in knowing a better way to get something done. So talk about that. But you don't push, you don't shove it down someone's throat. You wait for the invitation to be able to share with them specifically. So here's a prime example. I have a projector client who makes content on YouTube and through Reels, right? And so she's putting all this information out on Reels, mostly Reels, TikToks, things like that. So she's putting her thoughts out there. Now, projectors are 20% of the population, generators are 70% of the population. They're not meant to work with every single generator. They're meant to guide the ones that they are specifically aligned with. And so if she's putting all this content out there, and there's people on there who are bad mouthing her content, this is stupid, blah, 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 blah. You are not here for that person, projector. Let them project all their bullshit onto you, blah, 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 blah. It's going to come. Projectors get so much thrown at them, right? Don't worry about that. Wait for the right person to see it and say, man, that person has value and I'm inviting her in. The invite doesn't have to look like, hey, would you like to? An invite is just an invite for you to engage, an invite for you to be around. It could be somebody loving all of your content. It could be somebody commenting on your content. It could be somebody inviting you to a party, and it's at that party that you meet somebody that you were supposed to meet. I had a client one time, 60 something years old. She was having a human design reading, never too late. And so she was like, I'm really stuck in my business. And it was because she was operating from a space of trying to make some stuff happen. Right? She was just trying to force it. I know this, guys, but I know this, guys, to the wrong crowd. And the people were like, you're such a know-it-all. Like, you're always trying to like tell us what to do. That's what happens when projectors are not invited, when they just put their opinion on specific people without waiting for the invite. You can do it generally, right? Like out in the public, but not like, hey, you need to be doing this. People are like, ew, who are you? Right? You got to wait for that invite. So I asked her, I said, is there anything in your life that's like going really well? She said, yeah, my marriage. She's like, I met my husband and we just connected and it's been so great. We've been together forever and it's beautiful and I love him and he's my best friend and it's like so effortless. And I said, how did you meet him? Was it through an invitation? And she goes, no, actually. She goes, we were at this event and we just sort of bumped into each other, like our booths were next to each other, and we just started talking and we hit it off. Like he didn't invite me into the conversation, like nobody invited me to meet him. Like I was just, we just like bumped into each other. I said, at a convention, huh? She goes, yeah. I said, why were you at the convention? And her whole face goes, oh, my friend invited me. They had a last minute cancellation and she invited me to take that person's spot. You see, sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes it's subtle. And this is where we have to let go of expectations on things looking the way we think they need to look. If her expectation was, this lady has this booth open and she's inviting me to come down, and when there's an invite, that means that it's for me. So I went and not a single person stopped at my booth and nobody bought anything, and that was a waste of time, and I don't understand because my authority said yes and it was an invite and things should have aligned. Well, it's because your expectation was that the payoff of going to what it is that you were invited to was that you were going to make a ton of sales, but maybe it was that you were just going to meet your husband. So there's like this softness. There's like this trust that has to happen as you're using your human design without these expectations of how it needs to look. It's trusting. It's trusting. I've had to do this so many times because it won't be until later that I can look back and go, oh, that's why. That's why that happened. That's why that happened. That's why that happened. That's why I had to respond to that in a certain way, even though that didn't actually end up doing anything. But it was because of the response to there that led to there that led to there. Oh, you have to trust and surrender to this. It's not going to look the way you think. If you had all the answers already, if you already knew how it was going to be, you would have, you would just do it. It's okay for you to let your imagination run wild and to have these ideas about what it could look like and put that out there so that your desire is known. But it's not always that person that you daydream about, but you could manifest a relationship that embodies the same things that you wanted. It might not be that exact job or that position or title that you had expected or wanted it to be, but it might be a job that is more fulfilling, that has all the same things in it that attracted you to the other position, right? You have to stay soft in that. And now let's talk about reflectors. Oh, reflectors. I hardly see reflectors. Again, less than 1% of the population, but I do have a few. Reflectors, their strategy is to wait a whole lunar cycle, 28 days. Reflectors, they are they are so closely related to the moon. And so for them, they cannot rush into decisions. Think about it this way. As a reflector, you're going to learn about this later on, but reflectors are completely undefined in those centers. They have no defined energy in those centers. They are just picking up everybody else's thoughts and ideas and emotions and stresses and fears and personalities and identities and insecurities. I mean, they're literally just picking this stuff up from people all day long, mirroring it back. Chances are, if you don't give yourself time for that energy to cycle out of your body before you make a decision, you're going to be making a decision based on somebody else's energy. So you have to allow yourself a whole cycle before you make that decision. And I know that it can be really scary for people, but I promise you, it's going to do magic for you. So recap, manifestors, you are here for peace. You need to inform, or you will feel anger. Generators, manifesting generators, you are here to respond. And when you do so, you're going to be feeling satisfied. And when you don't, you're going to be feeling frustration. Projectors, you are here for success. Projectors, by the way, don't have access to their own energy. This is why they do better on just telling everybody what to do instead of actually doing it. And I know society has convinced us that you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to put in the legwork and become really good at something before you. No. I could be a great, phenomenal worker. It doesn't mean I'm going to be a great leader or mentor or consultant. I saw that all the time. We promoted within our company. And I was like, yeah, she was the best rep. And because of that, you promoted her to a leader and she has zero leadership skills and has tons of amazing rep skills. And now we lost her in this area where she was a star, right? And she wanted to move up because she wanted to be paid more, and you wouldn't incentivize her to do great at what she already did. The only way that you would incentivize her is if she moved into a position that she was never prepared or designed for. Make it make sense, right? But it's like not everybody that's good at doing it is good at teaching it, and vice versa. Not everybody that's great at directing or consulting or saying, hey, this is the way we need to do it, is actually good at doing it. They're good at seeing the potholes. So projectors have been convinced to work and grind like generators, and they're doing it even though they don't have access to energy in their body. So they're fucking exhausted. They're depleted. They're burnt out. They're getting sick all the time. If you're a projector, like, you need to be sleeping. You need to be taking naps. You need to be working a max of 3 hours a day. Don't go to your husband now or your wife now and be like, Sarah said I don't have to do nothing. You have to start following your strategy. So Got off on another tangent there. Okay, and then so, oh, you're supposed to be here for success. I remember I heard somebody say she is a projector herself. She's a multimillionaire, and she goes, if you're a projector and you're not rolling in the dough by napping most of the day, she was like, something's wrong. I was like, man, I was born with the wrong energy type. I just go, 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 but I love go, 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 go. That's just who I am. Okay, so projectors, waiting for your invitation, um, watching that word wait, being invited, being around people who celebrate you, who recognize you, who want your opinion, who want your advice. Do that so that you can feel success and see success all around you instead of bitterness. Bitterness, such a gross emotion to feel. It's like, ugh, why is that person successful? I know better. Why do they listen to her and they don't listen to me? Why do I get passed up for this? I know I could do a better job than her, but I have to put in the work. Right? Like bitterness, yuckiness. You don't have to feel that. You can feel success. And then lastly, my reflectors, making sure you're giving that whole lunar cycle to yourself so that you can feel surprise and excitement in life instead of disappointment. When you rush into things too quickly because of other people's energy, it often disappoints you. So there you have it. Those are our strategies and our themes based on our type. Hope you guys learned something new about yourself. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on episode 3. If you got something from this video, please like, please comment, please share. Love you guys.